Hey, first with me now is Blake Barnes and Rodney Mooney with Jackson Comics, LLC. Now, Blake has an anthology comic book series called Jackson Comics, which solely features Mississippi artists and writers. And this series usually tells just Mississippi stories, whether that is fiction, nonfiction, all that. That is an interesting project. I had one of my radio partners way back in time would have loved this because, you know, he was an artist and a comic, and which doesn't really work on radio for some reason. Yeah. But he was. So tell me about this series, Jackson Comics. Let me hold up a book for you.
Yeah. So this first issue came out back for the 200th anniversary of Jackson. Okay. So it's also called Jackson Comics. Okay. And so we got together with a bunch of artists and writers from around the state to create an anthology of Mississippi stories to celebrate. But then that continued on into our second issue, which is this one here, and this was all student issue, so this was all done by Mississippi student artists and writers.
Oh, wow, okay. Okay, let's see if I can get it there to you. Here we go. Try it again, Arby. I'll try to hold it approximately in the same place.
We further got another anthology going on with Mississippi Macob, which is our sort of spin-off series. And this one is all about Mississippi folklore and legends.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And then this is what...
this is the same
another
book,
one,
different cover.
I got you. I got you. So Mississippi Macabre. And even comic ads on the back. How about that?
That's our printer right there.
Okay, so now this is a comic book series.
Yes.
And where do you get your writers? I mean, I'm sure y'all do this, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Rodney and I are both writers. For our second issue, which is actually, you can pre-order it today. It just went live today on Kickstarter. But the second issue of Mississippi Macabre is just me and Rodney writing the stories, and then the artists are changing out. So
I see, okay. So where do you get your artists?
So we know Stephen Butler, who is an artist from Mississippi, who is really the primary lead artistic director of the whole series, but he knows a lot of artists, we know a lot of artists ourselves, and so it's just about, if you're from Mississippi and you illustrate, you're probably going to work on this at some point.
Oh, good. Boy, you know, make the mat wider there.
Yeah.
So how about the stories? Mississippi Macabre, it's not like we don't have scary stories in Mississippi.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, you've been an inspiration for a lot of these collection of stories. I grew up watching Mississippi Roads, continue to watch Mississippi Roads looking for them online. Yeah. But I started something a long time ago called Wandering the Pines of Mississippi, where I travel all 82 counties.
Okay.
Heavily inspired by you, to be honest. And I talk to the locals, I research, and I find folklore from all over the state.
Oh, yeah.
Half of them have never been published before. Yeah. So we kind of feel like the Grimm brothers. We're preserving our state's great stories, and through the help of Blake and so many writers and artists, we're able to preserve it and share these stories.
Now, will this project be strictly printed, or, you know, everything's going online now, so is it going to be whatever, not a podcast or whatever would fit appropriately?
Has been something we've talked about before, is doing like a radio version of the comics and having voice actors sort of act them out. We talked about that. We will have digital versions of the comics, but we mostly want to lean on the print because it's just old school, classic magazines.
Give me an example of some of the stories that you've got in here.
So for this issue, this is the Witch of Yazoo on the front here. Oh. Rodney wrote that story. Yeah. I also did one, I wrote the story for the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula, about a guy who broke into people's houses back in the 1940s and cut off their hair in the middle of the night.
Haven't heard about him.
Yeah. And then
Oh, but some of the stories, truth is stranger than fiction, right? Yeah. Some of the stories that you can find, a lot of people don't know that the first sighting is Bigfoot is considered in Natchez, Mississippi, and they've been having festivals. And when we research these stories, we don't just look online and find what's already been written. We travel there. And even for our Bigfoot story in our next issue, I was able to interview the great son chief of the Natchez Indians, Native Americans, and he shared personal stories along with their language that we're including in the story.
Now, is just aside, and just for my information, is the great son of the Natchez, is he here or is he in Oklahoma?
He's actually in Oklahoma. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes he comes back to Natchez, and they do educational programs and things like that. But to be able to speak to him about these stories, and their language is considered, due to so few people speaking it, a dead language, and you can't find the language anywhere other than him and our next issue of the comic.
Wow.
So it's more than just pretty pictures with a couple of words.
Well, yeah,
we're really trying to do something.
This is like something that should be in a museum there, with something from the Natchez Indians. So you get your stories just by you yourselves find them? Or you gotten to the point that people come to you with stories yet?
Yeah, we've had both.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a blessing and a curse all in one.
Yeah. Well, we want to be able to tell people's home stories as well, because some of these huge stories at the Witch of Yazoo are known around the world.
Yeah.
And so we want to focus on some of the lesser known ones, like the three-legged lady, which you've did.
We did the three-legged lady. Oh, that was the fun one to do too. Yeah.
So she's going to be in our next issue.
Okay.
So look out for her.
Witch of Yazoo. I talked to the sexton at the Yazoo Cemetery one time, you know, the chain, the grave with the chain around it. And not being a strong believer in witches, I said, who's really buried there? He says, you know, the record's burned years ago, and we don't know that man's name. But it's a great story. It's a good story. Well, thanks for putting all this stuff together. First of all, where can people get this? Can they get it online? Because nobody goes anywhere to buy anything
absolutely.
anymore.
You can go to jacksoncomics.com. We have all the comics there, and we have a button you can click to pre-order the next one as well. So